Yo, what's going on, guys? Mush back at it with another video, and in this video I'll be covering an awesome PC game sale going on Green Man Gaming right now. Now, this isn't a sale that's really being all too publicized. However, there are some absolutely incredible deals as a part of this sale. It's the payday spring sale, and the list prices that they have are already pretty good, but you could use the code GMG22 to save an extra 22%. And that makes some of these deals pretty ridiculous and new lows for a lot of these deals. So I'm going to be going over 10 awesome deals as a part of this sale. They don't have their entire catalog discounted, but there are a lot of great deals on a lot of great games, so let's get right into this. Dragon's Dogma is available for $7.72. Dragon's Dogma is an excellent action RPG that was released late on the PlayStation 3 and Xbox 360 during their life cycle. And on PC, of course, those shackles have completely come off, and thankfully Capcom did a wonderful port with Dragon's Dogma, and this is Dragon's Dogma Dark Arisen. So you get the base game as well as the expansion, so you got a lot of content in there. It is a relatively difficult game, but a lot of fun, and for $7.72, that is a new low for the standalone game, so great deal there. Next up, we've got a new low on a deal that I talk about quite often. Borderlands 2 Game of the Year Edition is available for $6.86. I believe this is the first time Borderlands 2 Game of the Year Edition is under $7, and for under $7, how can you go wrong with Borderlands 2 Game of the Year Edition? It's a fantastic game, a lot of fun, runs really well on PC, and you don't even need that great hardware at this point to run it, as it did release back in 2012, but it's got a lot of settings you can tweak on PC, and the game itself is a blast to play, whether you're playing alone or with a group of friends. It is a joy to run through, and the Game of the Year Edition, of course, includes all of the DLC content, so you can spend a long time with this game, and there's reason to play the game multiple times as there's multiple characters. Just a lot of longevity in this one, and for $6.86, you cannot go wrong. Next up, we've got a pretty good deal on Rocket League, $9.35. Rocket League typically doesn't go on sale all too often, so whenever it does, I do want to mention it. Typically, if it does go on sale, you'll see a 40% off down to $12, and that is the list price over at Green Man Gaming, but if you use that code, you'll get it for $9.35. That's a great deal on Rocket League, which is a very fun game. I mean, Rocket League really took the world by storm, and it's still popular to this day, but it definitely has lost a little bit of its steam, but you cannot go wrong playing Rocket League. It is a blast. This is a game that I do recommend. Have some friends to play with. It's fun solo to go online and play, but you really get the most out of it when you're playing with a group of friends. And for $9.35, while I would like to see it a little bit cheaper, hey, this is still a really good deal and a game that you'll always go back and play. Next up, we've got BioShock the Collection, which is down to $15.44. BioShock the Collection, of course, includes all three BioShock games as well as their respective DLC content. You've got BioShock, BioShock 2, and BioShock Infinite. Now, as far as personal opinion and what I think of each game, I think BioShock Infinite is the best game. The first BioShock game comes in second, and third is BioShock 2. BioShock 2 isn't a bad game, but it isn't quite as good as 1 or Infinite, but still a very fun playthrough. BioShock 1 is a very atmospheric experience, and I thought BioShock Infinite's shift in setting was great. So you get all of the games for $15.44. That's $5 and change per game, and that's pretty solid for each BioShock game. BioShock the Collection typically goes for $19.80, I believe. That's what they have it listed here, but of course with the 22% off code, you'll save a little bit more, and that is a great deal on that. Next up, we've got Cities Skylines for $5.85. Alternatively, you can pick up Cities Skylines, the Deluxe Edition, for a little bit more. The Deluxe Edition includes some additional content, so if you do want to jump on that, feel free. Cities Skylines is a game that I played a little bit of. I've always said these types of games are not my cup of tea, but I know for a lot of you guys, you really enjoy these styles of games, and for $5.85, again, another new low on Cities Skylines, so a great deal there. I can't speak much on it because it's not my gaming forte, but I had to mention it anyway because it is a brand new low, and I'm sure it's a game that a lot of you guys want to check out. Next up, Okami HD is down to $10.91. Okami was one of the best PlayStation 2 games of all time. Unfortunately, it was kind of a commercial bomb, so we never saw an Okami 2. We did get Okami Den on the DS, but now the first game is back in the form of Okami HD, and it's on PC. Unfortunately, the PC version does not run at 60 frames per second, so that might turn a lot of you guys off. Apparently, it was due to the game's engine, which is unfortunate, but it is what it is. It did release at a very budget price of $20, so I'll let them slide. And now that it's down to $10.91, Okami is still one of the best PlayStation 2 games of all time. Okami HD just makes that experience better. So if you never played it, I would highly recommend you to give Okami HD a look. Next up, we've got Resident Evil 4 for just $3.90. Wow, that's a great deal on RE4. RE4 was the first Resident Evil game that really took the franchise in a more action-oriented route, and it was a great game, but I know some were disappointed by that. I still found RE4 an absolutely absorbing and exhilarating experience experience. Honestly, it's probably my favorite Resident Evil game, and for just $3.90, that's a great deal. Typically on sale, this will be $5, and that's what it's listed at GMG, but again, 22% off, and you're getting it for just $3.90. Next up, we have a very underrated action game in DMC Devil May Cry, which is available for $5.85. Now, Devil May Cry, the franchise as a whole, is one of the more notable ones in all of gaming, but DMC Devil May Cry was developed by Ninja Theory. It had a little bit of a facelift from the previous Devil May Cry games, and a lot of gamers were turned off from that. Dante looks completely different, and considering how iconic of a character Dante is, messing with his design at all was going to turn a lot of people off, me included. I was a big fan of the older Devil May Cry games, and the design of DMC Devil May Cry definitely pushed me away. However, I still gave the game a shot, and as far as gameplay goes, the game is a lot of fun. It's just that you do have to get past the character design, but the core elements and fundamentals of the game are still there. Story isn't anything to write home about, but solid for what it is, and at $5.85, I do have to recommend it. Cuphead is down to $13.25 after the discount code. Typically, this goes for 15% off on sale, $17. But with that 22% off discount code, you get it even cheaper than that. $13.25, I believe, is a new low for Cuphead. Haven't really been monitoring Cuphead prices, but still a very good deal on one of the most difficult games you're gonna come across, but a lot of fun. It's got a great art style, and it stood out as one of 2017's best games, so definitely give Cuphead a look. Yes, it'll probably get cheaper down the line, but at this price, it is the lowest that it's been, or close to it, so I have to give it a recommendation. And finally, Civilization 5, the complete edition, is down to $9.75. Again, Civilization is not a franchise that I'm too invested into, but I have friends that play Civilization, and they've dropped over 1,000 hours into these games, and I understand why. I understand how Civilization is such an engrossing experience. It's just that I can't be dropping thousands of hours in one game, but I would be an absolute idiot if I didn't acknowledge the value Civilization 5 Complete gives you. For just $9.75, you get Civilization 5, you get all of the DLC content, and you get the complete Civ 5 experience. Now, Civilization 6 is out, but many prefer Civilization 5, and guess what? With Civ 5, you're paying a lot less than Civ 6, so this is a tremendous deal, but when it has been around this price, it's been acknowledged as an absolute bargain, so definitely give that a look. Those are 10 awesome deals as a part of this Green Man Gaming Payday Spring Sale. Some great deals. Use the code GMG22 again to save 22%. And the games that aren't on sale are discounted as well with this coupon code. So if you want to get something like, say, Final Fantasy 15 Windows Edition, you can use that 22% off code and you'll save around $11. So that is an option as well. That's going to conclude this video, guys. Hope you enjoyed. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section down below if you're planning on picking any of these up. And I will catch you guys in the next one. Peace out.